Hey everyone, it's Darren. Welcome. Today we're going to try something a little different. We're going to run a head-to-head competition between VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, I've said is one of the most powerful functions in Excel, and XLOOKUP, I've said, is more powerful and I don't use it. Uh, Quick reminder of why I don't use it. It's because it's only available right now, really, in Office 365. If you're running a standalone version of Excel, if you're running OpenOffice, you're running online spreadsheets, or if anybody who's ever going to use this spreadsheet is running one of those things, they won't be able to use XLOOKUP. So at that point, you have to use VLOOKUP. Now, all over the internet, especially on YouTube channels, they say stop using VLOOKUP, just use XLOOKUP. If if you are concerned about portability, if you're sending this off to clients, if you're sending this off to your home computer, we have an old copy of Excel, you're stuck with VLOOKUP. That's not that big a deal. I'm going to show you how the two compare, and we're going to look at exactly what the differences are between them and how to sort of overcome the shortcomings of VLOOKUP pretty simply, really. Okay, so if you saw my XLOOKUP video, and I'll link both the XLOOKUP and VLOOKUP in the description. If you saw my XLOOKUP video, you've already seen this spreadsheet. Here I have 100 randomly generated names and addresses, along with the customer number over in column G there. These aren't real people, they're just randomly generated. Uh, and over here, I just have some customer numbers I'm going to look up. So let's start off, actually, I'm going to put that back to 15, and I'll show you why here in a minute. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with XLOOKUP here. We're going to do XLOOKUP. So XLOOKUP, and what are we looking for? Well, we're looking for that one. And lookup array is column G. The return array, I want to get all of those. And if not found, we're going to put in customer not found. And match mode is exact match. It's and We're going to search top to bottom. Okay, so there we go. And that got all of that. Okay, well, what if we do VLOOKUP? So it's equals VLOOKUP, uh, table array. Come over here. Uh-oh, got a problem. In VLOOKUP, the, uh, the stuff you're looking for, the column you're looking for, has to be to the left of the data you want to return. So we got to make a change. So this is the first thing you have to do if you have to change these things. So I'm going to insert a row and come over here and copy this and paste it over there. No problem. Okay. So you can see that that one's not that big a deal. It's more convenient to not have to do that, but it's not that big a deal. Okay. The lookup. Lookup value is A1. Table array. Uh, it's going to be all of that stuff this time. Uh, and then your the column index, that's column 1, B is 2, so I want column 2. And do I want exact or approximate? I want exact. Okay, so I've got that. So for VLOOKUP so far, I just had to move that over. That one column, I just copied it over. Uh, but I only got the one here. So what if I want to copy this over? Well, I can't copy it directly because that's not going to give me what I want. So what I have to do instead is I just have to make these things absolutes here. I have to put a $sign in front of them, which still gives me the same thing. And then I can come over here Got to change that one over here to an absolute as well, to $A1. And then over here, I just copy it, make that a 3. Make this one a 4. Make this one a 5. Make this one a 6. And make that one a 7. And I just copy it down here to all of these. Okay. So you see that's not the end of the world to have to move, to have to copy the customer number column over, your basically your search column. Not that big a deal if you're doing multiples. You can just add these little dollar signs in here, and then you copy it over, change your column index number. Okay. So what if we change this to 115? Okay, well now I get customer not found here. But over here, instead of customer not found, I get NA. Well, you can fix that, and that's pretty simple to fix. It's just if NA, your regular formula, comma, customer not found. And then you get that. And you can just stick that on all of them, obviously. So adding the if NA is not a big deal. Excel or Microsoft knew you'd be doing this a lot. That's why they created the if NA. Make it very simple. You can put in a text string, you can put in a number, you can put in a cell reference, you can put whatever you want there. What about some of the other things? So if we look at some of the parameters here, the 0 is match mode. That's exact or approximate. If we look here, exact in XLOOKUP is the same as false in VLOOKUP. 1 and 2, or excuse me, -1 and 1 are kind of like approximate. I've never found much use for approximate in VLOOKUP. It seems a little vague. Uh, but here you have exact match, next larger or smaller, so that's a nice feature. And the wildcard searches are nice. So, and as for the final parameter on here, uh, VLOOKUP will only search top to bottom. You don't get a choice. Uh, XLOOKUP, you can do top to bottom or bottom to top. The binary search part, it can be if you're looking with a lot of data, and I'm not talking hundreds of rows, I'm not talking thousands, I'm talking tens of thousands of rows. The binary search can be a little quicker, can be noticeably quicker. Uh, but really, most people aren't ever going to notice a difference unless you have a whole lot of these in there. So it's nice. Is it necessary? I don't think so. Nice to have, but not critical. So that's really kind of the difference between XLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. HLOOKUP is exactly the same as XLOOKUP, except instead of your data being in rows, it's in columns. And it's just everywhere that I said row or column, switch it to column or row. But otherwise, the functions are pretty compatible. So I think I mentioned earlier, if you are sharing data with anyone who does not have Office 365 or who may not have Office 365, always use VLOOKUP. Don't use XLOOKUP because they won't be able to read it. They'll just get an error message. If you are sending this off to clients or customers, you don't know what they have. You don't want to upset them. You don't want to look bad because you're sending them spreadsheets that give them errors. So always use VLOOKUP instead of XLOOKUP. If you're only using this yourself, if you're only using this in your own company and you know that everybody has XLOOKUP and you know that no one's ever going to send this out to anybody else, sure, go ahead and use XLOOKUP if you want. Eventually, this problem will go away. The problem is that it just hasn't gotten out to other spreadsheets yet. It hasn't gotten out to standalone Excel, hasn't gotten out to OpenOffice, hasn't gotten out to the web spreadsheet systems yet, whereas all of those systems do support VLOOKUP. Everybody supports VLOOKUP at this point, everyone that has multiple worksheets in a workbook. So that's what I got. If you learn anything from the video, do hit like. If you have questions, comments, put them down in the comments on the video. Also, I do have a Patreon page at patreon.com/data analysis excellence. If you could help out there, that would be great. Uh, Hopefully you're subscribed. If not, hit the subscribe and notify button so you can see when my next video comes out. Thanks for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you for the next one.